Hello, my name is Lizzie. I'm 29 years old and I quit my career 15 months ago with no plan, just a feeling. And now I'm on a journey of trying to live a heart-led life and follow my joy and excitement and live a life that feels good to my heart, regardless of how it feels to my logical mind. So I am just a regular girl who grew up and did everything she was told. I went to school, I got the degree, I got the debt, I had a job that paid the bills, but I was not happy. The one thing missing was my happiness. So I did go through my second spiritual awakening and expansion of consciousness and just come to this realization that I wasn't living a life that felt true to me and that I needed to make some changes to get on the right track. But when you're living a heart-led life, it isn't like you have a 5-year plan or you kind of know what's ahead of you. So I'm kind of testing the theory that the path appears once you start walking it. So over the past 15 months, it has been a journey of deprogramming and unlearning the patriarchy and everything that the Matrix or, this system has taught us. Hi, pretty kitty. So it's been not all rainbows and butterflies. And I knew pretty early on that speaking is part of my path and that I needed to start talking and making videos expressing myself on TikTok. So I've been making videos on TikTok for about a year, and that's obviously been, a lot of healing and growth in itself because you have to worry about what everybody's thinking of you and saying about you. And so I am done caring, or I'm trying to be done caring. I'm human at the end of the day. But I want to live my life for me, not for other people. And at the end of the day, those people are probably watching me just full of their own projections and sitting behind a desk at a job that they don't like, jealous that they're not living the life that they want to live. So I don't want to be one of those people. And I was one of those people. My life started to feel very monotonous, very robotic. And I was like, this is not the life that I came here to live. So I know that we all have the ability to tap into our psychic senses or to be clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsentient, all that. But I haven't developed any of those abilities super strongly yet. I have moments of connection where I, perceive things that are outside of the 3D realm, but I am not anywhere near where I want to be. And on a regular basis, I can sit there and try to meditate for 30 minutes and I'm just watching my mind loop and loop and loop. I am somebody who very much still lives in my head, but I am in the journey of moving from my head to my heart, which I don't even remember who originally said the quote, but people in the spiritual community and gurus in the past have said that the longest journey a man will take is from his head to his heart, or the most important journey. One of those. Either way, it's long and important. So I'm still in the process. But going back to the degrees and the debt, I do have my bachelor's degree in psychology and sociology with a concentration in criminology. So prior to quitting my career, I was a social service coordinator at a juvenile detention center. And all my work, I worked there for 2.5 years, but all my work prior to that was always with children. I love kids and feel very in my element with youth. However, like many of us women do, we learn to pour, but to not fill up our cup, right? So pouring from an empty cup. And I do consider myself as someone who's very energetically sensitive. So I think that being in that kind of environment was difficult for me because I was taking on a lot of energy that was not my own. And it just started to weigh on me over time and I just wasn't happy. So one of my degrees is in sociology, and one thing I loved in sociology was learning about case studies. And now I'm about to live it. I'm about to go on my own study of sorts. So I have been getting a lot of synchronicities about Texas, and right now I live in Ohio. I've lived in Cleveland, Ohio for the past 4 years, and I started to get a lot of synchronicities about Texas. I would see Texas license plates every day. I drove for Lyft and people would get in my car and say, just talk about Texas all the time. They were either from Texas or they're visiting Texas or their dad lives in Texas. So I was like, okay, Spirit, what is it about Texas? So I started to dive deeper into where in Texas might be aligned with me. Where would I want to go in Texas? I don't consider myself political anymore. I think that that's theater, and the theater can only function if it has viewers. So I don't feed into that anymore. I respect everybody who's still on that path, but that is not the path for me. And so anyway, I am not like my values align more with liberal values, right? And so when I think of Texas, I kind of just think of like, yeehaw, Republican. I'm not a country girl either. So I was like, Texas is the last place I would see myself. But anyway, I trusted that, I was getting these signs for a reason. And so I put my birth chart information into astrocartography, and it turns out that 2 lines cross in Texas. One is in San Antonio, which is my Saturn line, and one is right like outside of Austin, kind of to the right of Austin. And that's my Jupiter descendant line. So I looked further into what both of these lines mean, and I'm in my Saturn return right now, so I'm learning all kinds of lessons. And Saturn is kind of like, through hard work and perseverance, like, you can have the career you want, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm done with hard work and perseverance. Not really. Like, I'm still disciplined. It's not that I lack discipline, it's that I lack tolerance for soul-numbing routines. I saw a little Instagram post like that, and I'm like, yes, that's it. I was going to say I'm not just a lazy fuck, but I didn't want to say that because I feel like that's contributing to the stereotype that, like, we are human doings and not human beings. And we are human beings. We don't need to do to be worthy or to receive. We just need to be, and learn to be comfortable in the being, which a lot of us can't. So anyways, the Jupiter descendant line. So Jupiter descendant line is, the Jupiter energy is all about like connections and luck and meeting aligned people. And it even said something about like mutual abundance, travel, joy. And like, those are the main things that I have been manifesting for the past few years. A life of travel, abundance, and joy. I just want to be able to travel around, not have a robotic and predictable life. I just want to be free and explore different cultures and places and meet different people. So I am going on a journey to Austin, Texas. I don't want to get an apartment or like have a predictable life. I just want to live in flow. So I moved out of my apartment at the end of March, and I've been living with family for the past 2 months. And now I'm getting ready to pack up my car and head to Austin, Texas, and be a digital nomad. Although I have not found a way to monetize from my self-expression yet. I know that speaking is the path. I know that I'm here to be a way shower and show people that there's a different way. Obviously that's what way shower means. Anyway, so I've already been posting on TikTok, but I'm going to take this journey to the screen and be really intentional about my documentation. So I'll be posting daily videos on TikTok, and I'll be posting weekly videos on YouTube. And my question that I am exploring in my case study, the sociologist in me wants to explore what happens when someone stops living by obligation and starts living by their heart. And so when I say heart, I mean also intuition. So like, I am following signs, synchronicities, inner guidance, this internal compass that we all have. We carry the blueprint within us for our dream life. We carry the blueprint, but we're just so busy all the time, which is intentional. They want our attention focused on our phone, on the TV, on everything around us, politics, the theater, so that we can't be still and listen to the guidance that we're receiving. Like I said, meditation is still a feat for me sometimes, and I don't feel that I connect super easily like other people make it seem. I'm still on a journey of trying to get more comfortable in, altered states of consciousness. But I do receive a lot of guidance in my 3D external world. Like signs and synchronicities is an all-day thing for me. And I know that my guides, my spirit guides, have a way of getting to me through music, especially, and then just various other synchronistic things. So like the people getting in my car and talking about Texas, me seeing Texas license plates every day. I'm really good at pattern recognition. So that is a way that I know to follow my heart. And then it's just, it's that internal knowing. Like I just kind of know how to follow my instinct and my intuition. So I have a few goals and I have a few rules for this journey that I'm about to go on. My goals are, number 1, find my people. So I have always kind of felt alienated, ostracized from the people around me. I am one of 11 kids. I have 10 siblings, and I'm right in the middle, 5 older, 5 younger. I think this will be backwards on the screen, but I always tell people this is my family: Christopher, Stephanie, Philip, Jackie, Jenny, Lizzie, Jerry, Maria, Andrew, Matthew, Eddie. So I have always been the black sheep of the family. After we saw Cheaper by the Dozen as kids, my family called me FedEx. So it has always been very clear to them that I am a little bit different than them. When it comes to politics, I was previously very active in speaking out about politics and injustices. And my family has different beliefs and views and values than I do. So I have always been different. I've always questioned things more than people around me. And I don't know, I just feel like I came in half awake, kind of like realizing that not politics, but government just didn't make sense to me. Borders, all these things. I'm just like, the earth is here. It's free. There's no lines. Why can't we just walk freely? Like tolls, just everything. Paying to exist has always blown my mind. And having all these like weird boundaries and separation between us and others, like us versus them mentality, that has never made sense to me. I came into this earth already embodying unity consciousness to a degree. And I'm not perfect. A part of this path has been having to face all my shadows and all the things I've said and done and ways of being in the past that weren't aligned with who I am now, that I felt guilty or shameful about. But I've already faced all that. So I'll own up to any of my demons. So yeah, number one is to find my people. I want to find like-minded people. Even like this past year and a half where I've really been on this spiritual path and this path of questioning everything that we've been taught and unlearning everything, I've felt especially alone because people think I'm like crazy or don't really understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'm just so tired of having to explain myself. So I just want to be surrounded by like-minded people who get the way that I'm choosing to play the game, who understand me, and I don't have to explain myself all the time. And like people who lift me up, and yeah, I don't know, I just feel at home with them. And because I've been feeling so pulled to Texas, I know that soul family is there for me. There's people that I'm destined to meet there. So that's a goal that I feel is kind of measurable, and that's important to me, is finding my people. So I want to find my soul family, my community. Goal number 2 is unlock my creativity. So I have always felt really drawn to arts, crafts. Like I took all 4 years of art in high school, and actually I was interested in cosmetology too. And I was thinking about going to the Career Center for Cosmetology my junior and senior year of high school, but I couldn't do both. I couldn't go to the Career Center and take all 4 years of art. And I was like, oh, I can't do it. Like I want to do art. And that was a tough decision for me. And sometimes I think about, because each decision we make leads us down a different path. And it's kind of like you're taking a different timeline. So I always think about that version of me who decided to do cosmetology and what my life is like in that timeline. But anyway, we're on this timeline where I chose art. And although I really like art and crafts and creativity, I have always felt that I have so much untapped potential inside of me, and like my creativity is not anywhere where I want it to be or where I feel that it's capable of being. Like when I sit down to be creative, I feel like I still struggle with perfectionism, and like I kind of have to have the idea of exactly what I'm going to do. I still need to look at resources. I've always been jealous of people who can just pick up a pencil and create something. And I'm sure I'm being hard on myself, and that's something I've been trying to work on too, is being more compassionate with myself and giving myself grace. But I know that my creativity is not, functioning to the best of its ability. And once I get into a place with new energy and I'm surrounded by a different environment and I'm less bogged down by the stress of the everyday matrix life, I'm hoping that my creativity is able to flourish, especially since I'm like really stepping into my feminine energy and learning how to be in my intuitive flow receiving energy. Previously, the rest of my life, I was like operating out of wounded masculine energy. I was going to talk more about those, but I don't think that I'm here to teach as much as to express. And so I don't really want to dive into what sacred/divine, masculine and feminine mean, but that's something that's been really crucial to my journey, and maybe I'll talk about it in another video. But I'm really trying to lean more into my feminine energy, and so I think that my creativity will be able to flow more once I'm more in my feminine energy. So Step 1 or goal 1, find my people. Goal 2, unlock my creativity. Goal 3 is heal through play. So I really want to allow my inner child to thrive and to feel seen and to be able to feel safe. I have been these past, like even before like my spiritual awakening, that was like kind of end of 2024 through 2025. Even before that, I had my first like spiritual awakening, I would say, in 2020, 2021. And since then, I've been on like a really big healing journey. I used to be a big partier, be drunk all the time, just self-medicated like a motherfucker, so I didn't have to face all the demons that were in my head. And so I stopped drinking, stopped engaging in harmful behaviors, and just really learned to sit with myself. So since like 2021, I've been on like a deeply inward healing journey. And I know that healing happens through community. Healing doesn't happen always in isolation. And I know that that time was necessary, but now I know that it's time to reintegrate into society and to get out into the world. And I especially think that my next chapter is about being surrounded by like-minded women and healing with other women, because I think a lot of us have gone through the same initiations and have experienced the same or similar pain, and now we need to be surrounded by each other who can understand each other, resonate with each other, and heal. So yeah, I want to heal through play. I also think that I kind of grew up early. My mom died when I was 9, and obviously being one of 11 kids, I kind of grew up fast. I pretty quickly took it upon myself to look after my younger siblings, especially one. I feel like me and 2 of my older sisters each like clung to one of the youngest. We have the 3 youngest are boys, and I feel like each of us kind of took one of them under my wing. So I was a 9-year-old like feeling like this little brother Andrew is my boy. I'm going to protect him, right? So I do think I grew up at a young age, and I don't know when that creativity was like, you know, blocked out of me, or like where I learned to feel that like I can't make money from creativity or anything. So I just really want to heal my inner child and allow her to feel safe playing and enjoying life. Goal number 4 is create a life that supports me. So what I mean by that is like financially, especially. So I want to discover aligned forms of income. I know that I did not come to sit behind a desk, work a 9-to-5, live a robotic and monotonous, predictable life. I am a Sagittarius sun, Leo rising, and I have a Sagittarius stellium. So what a stellium means, I'm not a professional, but what I've learned over this past couple years is that a stellium means that like your lessons in life or your energy in that area is super heightened. So I'm a Sagittarius stellium in the 5th house of like play, creativity, joy. So this is my path, y'all. I am here to express. I'm here to find different forms of self-expression, including but not limited to speaking. Like I wanted to say digital art, but that's not right. But like actually creating with my hands, 2D art, but like, I don't know. I just know that creativity is my path. I'm here to express. I'm also a life path number 3, which is all about self-expression. So those are my 4 goals. Find my people, unlock my creativity, heal through play, and create a life that supports me. My roles. My first role is follow my joy. So that's like part of the thing Bashar always talks about is like follow your joy and your excitement to the best of your ability, to the furthest of your extent, or something like that. So yeah, I just want to follow my joy. Rule number 2 is say yes to aligned opportunities. Nothing changes if nothing changes, right? If you want to embody a different version of yourself, and if you want to attract a different life than you currently live, you have to make different choices. I have previously been in hermit mode for a really long time, so it would be easy to be like, no, I don't want to go to the bar. I don't drink anymore, which I do. I have started drinking a little bit here and there because my relationship with alcohol is different. But anyway, that's not like my preferred activity of choice, you know? But it would be easy for me to decline invitations because I'm nervous or that's out of my comfort zone. But in order to like attract a different life, you have to put yourself outside of your comfort zone. And a lot of times, like, fear is a doorway, fear is a portal, so you have to walk through it. But obviously, sometimes no is the wise choice, right? So I'm going to use my internal guidance and my wisdom to decide if an invitation is aligned or not. And if it is, say yes, even if it costs me money and I don't know how I'm going to afford it, even if it makes me scared and is outside of my comfort zone. If it is aligned, I'm going to say yes. Rule number 3 is stay open to what unfolds. So I want to let the universe surprise me. I'm trying not to go into this with too many expectations. I just am going to follow the path and trust that the path will reveal itself as I take each aligned step. And a lot of times over this past 15 months, like a lot of times I'll go weeks or like even months sitting in confusion and fog and not knowing what's next. And then one day I'll just have a wave of clarity. And so I want you all to understand that, like, me going on this, I'm not naive. I'm not expecting rainbows and butterflies and this to just be, oh my God, all these miracles are happening. Miracles will happen. Miracles have already been happening to me. But there will also be plenty of days where I'm crying in my car, don't know where I'm going to sleep, how I'm going to get food. And I'm going to document all of that. So on TikTok, I'll be posting daily. My username is Peace Love Lizzie. And then on YouTube, I'm going to try to do once a week, just follow up the highlights, like what money I spent, what money I earned, synchronicities, where I slept, things like that. So the first month, I already am planning, like through the end of June, I'm going to be staying at a friend's house. So that housing is already solidified. Oh, there's a deer running through the yard in front of me. Love that. And then in July, I also have housing solidified. So luckily, I'm going the first few months having that taken care of, and I won't have to worry about that. But I do think that, I don't know where it's going to take me. I think I'm going to take a tent just in case I end up like camping and doing things like that, which that sounds super exciting to me. Like, I don't know. As long as I'm with other people, hopefully I can find some community and live on campground for a little bit. Like, that excites me. So if you are interested in this, please subscribe. This is my first YouTube video, so sorry, I'm just rambling. I was like waiting to feel so inspired and I kept pushing off making a video. And then I'm like taking a step, even not a perfect step, like that's my perfectionism kicking in, but taking a step is better than, waiting for the perfect moment. Even if it's not the perfect step, like we have to start pursuing the life that we want, even if it's baby steps. So I decided I'm just going to record and do this. It might not be perfect. I know it's not perfect, but it's real. And speaking of YouTube, here's a way that I also communicate with my guides. I am big on show me this sign if no, show me this sign if yes. So anyway, I had been feeling like I should create a YouTube channel too, because TikTok is not doing it for me right now. And there's such censorship on there. So anyway, I asked my guides if I should create a YouTube channel, show me honeycomb or honeysuckle. I don't even know, those are not in my everyday life. I don't know where those came from. And then I think I said frisbee if no. The next day I was watching my baking show. It's not even like a current season. I was just watching a random spring baking championship season. And one night, they had to use honeysuckle as the ingredients, and then the following night, honeycomb. And I was just like, oh my gosh, because it was right after I asked. And that's another thing too, like, I need to just follow. I'm not perfect because I should have just trusted my initial instinct that I should create a YouTube channel. But so many of us are still so seeking outside of ourselves. Okay, give me confirmation, give me this, give me that. But I'm not perfect, and I'm glad that I got that confirmation. Hopefully, eventually, I will learn to just trust my initial pull or instinct towards doing something. But until then, I'm going to keep asking for confirmation. And I always receive it. So I know that some of this stuff may seem out there for some people, but this is my lived experience, and this is something that I feel I have to do as part of my path, is share these experiences. So yeah, if you're interested, subscribe. I think I've had YouTube for a long time, since I was a kid, and I never subscribed to anybody. I didn't really know what subscribing meant. It sounded like you had to pay money, but I don't think you do. It's kind of like following. So anyway, I'm sure if you're watching this, you know how to work YouTube. Subscribe here and then give me a follow on TikTok. Peace, love, Lizzie. All right. Thank you. Have a great day.